All right, welcome back into the Yappin Wrestling podcast. As always, Dillamel, joined by my guy Deli. We are both hoodied up, gray hoodied up. It's that time of
Cold
the year,
outside.
man.
Yeah, it's getting cold.
That October chill hits, and the podcast will be nothing but hoodies from now until March, April, maybe May.
Yeah,
Who knows with the weather
yeah,
nowadays? But the
for sure.
wrestling world is still heating up. We have a lot to talk about in today's podcast. We're going to cover the whole Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes saga that is building for an inevitable match at Survivor Series. The Bloodline. Is the OG Bloodline destined to return? Probably. Is Brock Lesnar on his way back to the WWE? And if so, how do we feel about that? And
Mhm.
speaking of something that could be lackluster, Crown Jewel. We're going to talk about our thoughts on
Yeah.
all of that. But Deli, we have to start with this soon to be WWE Championship feud, Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes. I really like the realism angle that they are taking with this, with Kevin jumping Cody in the parking lot and relying on fans to catch the footage. I'm sure they had some fans planted out there to make
Yeah,
sure the
yeah,
footage was
probably.
on.
Yeah, they ain't gonna never
They're not
make
gonna
that
just do
funny.
it for
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah, yeah.
So they have that. They have Kevin trying to say something on SmackDown. His mic getting cut off. The little altercation between himself and Randy Orton.
Yep.
Apparently, Kevin put out on his social media today that he had a video that he wanted them to play on Raw. They didn't play it, and he's saying if they don't play it on SmackDown, then he is going to post it to his own social media. So
Mhm.
Kevin is basically going with he didn't turn his back on Cody. Cody turned
Cody
his
turned his
back
back.
on
Mhm.
Kevin.
I like that. I
And
actually love that.
so this is one of those, we may be called Triple H Glazers, but this
Mhm.
is one of my favorite things when it comes to Triple H booking that certainly wasn't there when Vince was. The concept of clear-cut babyface and clear-cut heel does not exist. Now, obviously, you can see who the good guys and bad guys are generally. Like, for example, Rhea Ripley, face, Liv Morgan, heel.
Heel. Yeah.
But there are, situations where even in their storyline, Rhea injured Liv. Liv came back,
Mhm.
got the title. Like,
Mhm.
so, there's real motivation for the heels that aren't terrible, as in just, I'm a bad guy to be a bad guy, which I think is in the case with, the best movies.
I'm so sorry to interrupt the podcast. I'm watching the Liberty game, and I'm a Liberty fan. The people that don't know, I'm a Liberty fan, and Sabrina Ionescu just hit a Steph Curry step back for game and almost had me jump off the seat. But I'm listening. I'm back now. Oh my gosh! I'm sorry. I meant to tell sorry the
Showing
viewers
some
right
love
there.
to the ladies. Hey, it's a live podcast. That's what
Yeah.
happens. But so, the thing that I love here is Kevin Owens. It's going to be the heel here,
Mm-hmm.
but he's gonna be not sympathetic is the word, but it reminds me a lot of like Marvel with
Yeah.
Thanos,
Yep.
where Thanos was the best villain in Marvel because
Felt
you don't
real. It
agree
was
with
real.
him,
Yeah.
but you could follow their train of thought.
Yeah.
Those are the best villains. Those are the
Yeah.
best bad guys where their train of thought makes sense. And you don't agree with it because it's clearly
Yep.
bad. Like Thanos,
Yep.
I want to wipe out half the population. Clearly bad, but I followed how he got there. Kevin Owens, I'm excited to see how he got to the point of turning on Cody Rhodes. Do you have any thoughts to that?
Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen what he said on social media. I think it was yesterday. He made like a minute and 45 thing on social media. And it kind of like how you saying like a Thanos thing. It's not like I'm like Thanos is the villain, but his message of why he wants to do what he wants to do makes sense because of what happened in his homeland and stuff like that. So kind of portraying like he's an anti-hero. And I think that's kind of what Kevin Owens is attesting to when he did his thing, like pretty much the anti-hero-ness of him, because he's saying, well, I'm not the villain. Well, I'm not the bad guy. Cody Rhodes is the bad guy, which if you think about it using logic, he could be right, because this man put his body on the line for Cody Rhodes for so long, for Cody Rhodes out of nowhere. When the guy who been screwing Kevin Owens over
Right.
over and over again, he teams up with him. So in kind of way, like one thing that you know what I'm saying, that I don't like about AEW that I love about the WWE, because AEW try to throw pie in our face. They try to like they switch things up and they act like we stupid. See, the thing about WWE, they don't do that. And what Kevin Owens do is something like that also, because he got a good point. He makes you think by saying that. Like me and you would think like, you know what, he
So
got
do
a
you
point.
think his reason is going to be probably some form of like a serious sit down where he says, you know, it was just I couldn't understand why Cody would team up with the guy who has held us down
Yes,
for years and years.
yes,
And it just didn't sit right with me that Cody Rhodes was willing to team up with a guy who took food off the plates of my
yeah,
children.
yeah,
And like you really buy
yeah,
into it. And
yeah.
I,
I
I
agree
think
with you
that's where it's got to
100%.
go.
I think because it that's what leading to, and then I think like it's leading to the. To be honest with you, this is all, in my opinion. I know we probably gonna get to it in a little bit as far as what this situation is, but it's all leading to who really is the heel behind this, who really is going to be the heel behind this, and it's really leading to Randy Orton being the real heel behind this, because right now we're actually getting to the point to where
Oh, you think he's been planting these seeds in Kevin's
he
ear?
yeah, he's been planting these seeds, or he you know, there's a couple of things that you could see that's been going on that you could see, and then really be honest with you, the real heel is Randy Orton. Randy Orton's going to show his face. Randy Orton's going to, because I know that promo that me you talked about, and we were looking like when he said that, we was like,
again, I don't know if it was this past Friday, the Friday before, had his hands all up
all over them. Yeah,
title.
yeah. So it's like he's been showing you clues, and he even said it the week before, like, hey, it's not me. You don't have a problem unless it needs to be a problem. Unless it's a problem. So right now, what Cody's kind of causing the friction between, you know, him and Kevin Owens, and then Kevin Owens beat him up because of the Rick Cody stuff. I really see, like I told you, I think we do see a double turn. I think we see a double turn where, Pianchu, in the next couple of weeks when we have this podcast and Cody's, Kevin Owens going to be back babyface, and Randy's going to be the one that's going to be heel.
So I think that Kevin never really fully goes heel. I think he just sits at this anti-hero, and I think Randy does go heel.
Yes, 100%.
The one concern that I have here, because I think we're headed towards Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes at Survivor Series, and maybe again at the Rumble, and I think we're headed towards Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. I think the John Cena Randy Orton at WrestleMania isn't happening. I think we're going to go some other direction, which is fine. I know a lot of people wanted it, but if this is the overarching story here, it's a better story than just John Cena and Randy Orton for the fucking fun of it.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But and plus that could lead us to getting a heel Randy Orton versus a face John Cena at some other later date. Yeah. My one concern here is, and it's not to say that he's not capable of it, but WWE needs to let Cody Rhodes match their energy as a face. Yes. Because if Cody Rhodes is the dumb, you know, happy-go-lucky baby face during this, the fans are going to cheer for Kevin and they're going to cheer for Randy. And Randy and Kevin are going to get their cheers to begin with, but they're going to turn on Cody. They're going to want him to lose the way that they wanted Super Cena to lose to Edge and Randy Orton and in those situations. So I think it's not to say that Cody can't do it. It's just to say, let's be sure that Cody is going to do it. And is going to match their energy. He's done it before. We've seen him, you know, with Roman Reigns and with The Rock, and, you know, on that one Raw where he called like The Rock like a bitch or something and like just matched him at his level. And I have no doubt that they will, but I think it is necessary.
Yeah, I think that's something that you told him. I think that's something that we talked about a while ago when you asked me about them turning on Cody. I think that's something that we talked about and you brought that idea up. And I think, to your point, this is what leading to it. Because the more sense that Kevin Owens make, the more that you can see that happen, because he's making so much sense of with his promos that he did on, you know what I'm saying, off over the phone and stuff like that, and then the Randy Orton stuff. Because when you actually think about it, though, Cody does look like a fucked up friend. He does.
Yeah,
It makes a lot of sense.
Well, so that's my thing, though. Like,
Yeah,
if Cody's gonna be your face, you need to have something good for him to say back to that. Of like, because his response is gonna be, I was just trying to get rid of the bloodline. It wasn't about Roman. It was in like, people are gonna pick sides. And me and you talked about this. It's like, I get why Kevin's mad. And I hope that you're right, that it kind of leads into the whole Randy Orton was in his ear being vindictive, and they were having conversations, and Randy was like, I just, I'm there, but I just don't know what he's thinking. And like, he was the one kind of like putting the thoughts in Kevin's head of Cody's an asshole. Because I hope we get a Kevin saying, and Randy agrees with me. And he just throws it out candidly. And it's just one of those, like crumb trail of like,
that would be,
how do you know Randy agreed with you?
I ain't gonna lie, that right there would be phenomenal. If he comes on Friday and says that would be perfect if he says that, because then that puts another layer to the story.
Like, you said to me, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. And then Randy has to weasel his way out of it.
Exactly. That's chef's
and then
that's perfect.
In ring aspects, Kevin and Cody are going to kill it.
Yeah.
I mean, 100%. There's no doubt about that. I think we see an apron powerbomb at some point in this feud, whether it is Survivor Series or Rumble. I don't think this match main events Survivor Series. No. I think it's a middle of the card match, actually, because I think the women's War Games will open it and the men's War Games will close it.
Yeah, so I think that's second to last. You get the crowd, you know what I'm saying, ready for that. So I think.
Well, I don't know, because I think we could be on a Gunther Survivor Series.
It's gonna be stacked. I think Survivor Series might be that card might be like 8, might be like 7. Still, you think still 5? Think still 5?
Maybe 6.
Maybe 6.
Maybe
because
6, though they're gonna load up the War Games matches for sure. I think you're gonna get Rhea, Liv, Bianca, Jade, Io, Kai. Like, they're all gonna be in there. The men's, it's gonna be Jimmy or Jey Uso, who'll be the Intercontinental Champion, will be in there with the OG bloodline versus the new bloodline. You'll have CM Punk, Gunther. You'll have Cody and Kevin, and then I think, maybe we'll probably end up getting a Nia versus Bayley versus Naomi triple threat.
Yeah, I see
that's
that.
kind of where I lean that.
I don't know. That's 5 great. That was 5 or 6. You gave me
that's
5.
Right? I just gave you 5.
That's I'm good with those 5. That 5 is
because
great.
I think those 5 will take time.
Yeah,
especially the War Games matches take time.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Even with like Rumble, I'm only expecting 5 or 6 at Rumble because it's 2 Rumble matches.
Yeah. Do you see? Okay, so do you think that they do Kevin, Cody, Survivor Series with Randy special guest referee, like do another one of those? They have been doing a lot of special guest referees, so
I don't think.
Do you think he factor in at any type of point of into Survivor? Do you think like he's going to be more involved in this? Like, not especially.
I think that like if we see him, he is out there but doesn't side with either of them, and then after Cody wins, RKO.
I think for sure. It just depends on,
and maybe at Rumble, I could see that more likely
because I don't know what they're gonna do, because as far as if we do, because I'm in
the need something for that Saturday night's main event too, and I think Cody's gonna be the headliner of that.
And I think that if they do, I think Cody should drop the belt from to Randy if they do it, because I think a Randy
Cody back to back Royal.
Yeah, right. But then again, I can't say that because we don't know what Rock doing, and then he negated those reports about him not being at 41. He said that was bullshit.
I mean, so anybody that believed that the Rock, the TKO, like a board member at TKO who petitioned for WrestleMania to be in Vegas because that's where TKO is at. Whoever thought that Rock wasn't competing at 41, like, what a dumbass. And that was Meltzer, right? What a dumbass. What a dumbass for that. Well, speaking of The Rock, let's talk about this Bloodline storyline, because we are, the wheels were in motion in everybody's mind, but on
Mhm.
screen, the wheels are in motion for the OG bloodline reuniting. We saw Jimmy come back at Bad Blood, hell of a pop, but now they're outnumbered.
Mhm.
And it's Solo, Fatu, and the Tongans beating the crap out of Roman and Jimmy. And I really like that Jimmy said, "We need help. Should I get him?" Roman's, "No yeet."
No yeet.
And
No
then they
yeet.
get their ass kicked, and Jimmy's like, "We need help." He goes and asks Jay, and Jay is, "Get out my face with that BS."
Sad. That was very
So
sad.
I
Hurt my
want to
heart.
ask you, how do you think we go from "get out my face" to "I'll team up with you"? Is it a Tongans costing Jay his title at Crown Jewel?
Mhm.
Is it Jimmy helping him retain his title in a
Mhm.
situation, or
Yeah.
is it Sami Zayn?
I think for sure it takes Roman. I think it takes Roman to talk to Jay or have some type of connection to Jay. Now he is Jay defending that belt next week, and I hope, and I don't think that they're giving it
In
to
Philly.
in Philly. So I don't think they're giving it to Braun Breaker next week. Now I could be wrong. Like I said, man, you've been wrong about what they felt like they should do, and they just do the unthinkable. But yeah, I don't think they are. But like if we do get a Jimmy run in, cool. I don't think the Tongas in them will factor in much because they haven't done it all
Mhm.
year. So only thing I would see is Jimmy helping. But then again, like I said, I don't think that's gonna work.
But
I
that's
think for sure.
not very baby facious.
Yeah, you're right. So I think it's gonna take Roman. I think Roman has to say something to Jay for Jay to think about it. I think Jimmy doing it is not gonna work, and I don't think Sammy doing it is gonna work. But I think Sammy will be the person that Jimmy gonna get to first. I think Jimmy will get to Sammy because Sammy loves Jimmy,
Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying. So obviously he knows what's going on, and I think Sammy will be the one that try to get everybody back together. I think that's gonna be a part that nobody's talking about. I don't think it's gonna be Jimmy. I think it's gonna be Sammy because Sammy.
Because the show's in Montreal.
Yes.
Like
Yes. Yes.
that
Yes.
Sammy's got to be the guy. Do you
Okay.
think that they surprise us with it? Do you think that they try and go, "Well, we have to get a fourth guy," and Jimmy's like, or Jay's like, "I know a guy," and like that's how it happens?
Or vice versa. Or for the whole time, Jay like no. Jay's like no. Jay's like no. Jay's like no.
And then it's one of those like how it was with Randy Orton last year. He'll
Mm-hmm.
be there.
But it's like
Nah, because we got to
everybody.
get the yeet on the top of
Yeah,
that
so I was about to say
stage.
so everybody there, they be the last one, and then you got Solo and I'm talking shit like y'all got a fourth, who's your fourth? And then you hear, oh so then you know what I'm saying there
Yeah.
now we eating now. I think that's a good point. I think that can be I think if we had the pin, they should do that. Let it
And
drag it out, drag it out, drag it out, drag it out. Let Sammy be the first person, drag it out, drag it out, drag it out. And when we get there, that makes the match even better. If you hear that, the crowd is gonna go bananas. If you hear that, it's gonna go bananas. I think they should do that. I think that
do
was a smart
we
call.
do we get a Roman yeet?
Yes, got to. He gotta
Gotcha.
eat. Gotta
He's
eat. He a
gotta.
babyface now. If he don't eat, he back a heel. He's
Um,
a heel.
did you see? I forget what he's calling it, but the yeet elbow.
Yes, I seen that. I actually seen it today.
What do
It
you?
looked nice. We might
It,
see it. I mean,
it
no,
looked
it
nice,
looked nice. It looked nice.
but anybody that might have a problem with that?
Big problem with that. Big problem with that.
I
That
think
he.
Jey Uso might get his ass
I
handed to
I
him
seen
by
I
Dwayne one
seen
of these
I seen
days.
so I seen somebody say. I mean, but he did before. I don't know. Remember that Raw when he was flinging Jay on the
Yeah,
stage
I think it might happen again.
when he
He
was
might
throwing Jay
yeet
on
him
that
off the
stage.
stage.
Yeah,
That
I remember that. Yeah.
But so this bloodline situation is all piling up for the
Yep.
Survivor Series match. My guess is that's the next time we see Dwayne.
Yes. Survivor Series. 100%. And that leads to
Do you
yeah.
think there's anything physical there, or it's just Dwayne
I
with a
think
mic telling Roman he's cut off, he's done? Instead
yeah.
of using his hand signals, he uses the words.
I think for sure that before we get any type of Roman and Dwayne altercation, you're gonna see him get physical with Cody first. I think the Cody stuff is key towards those two fighting each other. And I know I heard speculation about them doing a triple threat for the belt, which I mean I'd be happy with because I don't think Dwayne can do 1-on-1 now at his age. So I think a triple threat would be better for him, or anything that involves multiple people to kind of hide his, Dwayne, what, in his 50s, late 50s, right? He
Well,
don't look like it, but
so we're building towards a reveal still. I think that Dwayne is the one who told Solo, "You're in charge until I'm here."
yeah,
And I just am wondering, with the cage, with the War Games cage, how do we get that moment? Do they lift it right after the match? That way we can get Dwayne out there?
mm-hmm.
Do we wait? Is this something that maybe happens at Saturday night's main event instead, and they just push past Survivor Series? Like, this is a moment that has to happen in the ring, where
Yeah.
the big reveal.
Well,
Dwayne was the one who set Solo up to be the tribal chief in his absence, and he's the one who pushed him.
I also feel like they might do like how they did on SmackDown. They might just do it on SmackDown. They might not do it on a pay-per-view, because the when they did when Cody gave up his opportunity,
I just
they did
don't
it on a
believe
SmackDown.
that. I mean, it would have to be a SmackDown post Rumble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
Raw, Netflix.
I think
because that's going to be a massive show, and Dwayne
it's in LA.
It's in LA.
It's in LA. Yeah.
So maybe he doesn't come out at Survivor Series then.
I don't think
so. The point to do the exact same shit you just did at Bad Blood?
Yeah. I don't think that's the point. I wouldn't. That's no point of him coming out there, because I mean it's a different structure, and now you ain't gonna walk down. Either Saturday Night Live, either it's a Saturday Night Main Event, or Netflix. Those are the only two we're gonna see Dwayne again. Now you might see him at Survivor Series. And I don't, but I feel like when you see him get physical, is either one of those two shows. I think the Raw, Netflix, like you said, we've been saying they're gonna stack it up. They already had the poster, and you've seen every fucking superstar from Raw and SmackDown on that poster. So it's not like they're just gonna just have one just Raw and it's just Raw. It's gonna be both. So I think he's gonna be there with Cena, with everybody. I think that segment gonna be either the beginning or the end, which is gonna be the end with him in the Bloodline. And I think he interrupts a Cody segment with Roman, maybe to give Roman another opportunity for the belt. Tell Roman, hey,
I think maybe like we get some announcement there that it'll be Rock Cody at Rumble.
Roman, that's what and that's what I think.
Huh? Rock Cody.
Oh, Rock Cody,
because Rumble, and then I could see Roman screwing him out of it.
Yeah, because I mean he TKO board and he said he owe him, so I think that's I think we see that. I think the Netflix will we see that happen, and I'll be excited about it. Yeah, I'll be really excited about that. Yeah, for sure.
Me too. Some speculation started today that we could be on the verge of a return of Brock Lesnar. Now, we're not reporting this. There's a lot of conflicting reports. Some are saying that WWE is talking to Brock and they want a return. Some are saying that this isn't happening. So, how would you feel about Brock returning after everything that came out kind of being a little murky on the Vince McMahon situation in terms of what was consent and what was not involving Brock Lesnar? I don't think we're ever really going to get that answer. I think that was kind of, swept under the rug for a reason. I think Vince was the bigger target, and, they didn't need to catch Brock to do it. He was just kind of part of the story. And, obviously, Brock didn't have any form of retirement match. He was nearing the end of his career, and it wouldn't be surprising for Brock to have just disappeared and go off to his ranch in Minnesota and that be it. But would you actively be opposed to a Brock Lesnar return or run?
Here's my only thing about the Brock Lesnar return. Is Brock willing to do business? If he's willing to do business, what I mean by doing business, I mean putting people over. His time has passed. The only way I would love to see Brock is he's willing to put people over. What I mean, but what do you mean? Who the people I mean? Gunther. Are you gonna put Gunther over? Let's say Bronson Reed. let's
I think
say
Braun Breaker's got to be the
Bra-
retirement match.
Braun Breaker. Guys like that, are you willing to put them over? You know what I'm saying? John Cena. If you want to go one more match with John Cena. Now you don't have to put John Cena over with that match, but that's just something that if John Cena wants to do that and he's like, hey, I want to do a segment with Brock. If he says that, then that's when we can bring Brock. But like that's my thing. If Brock coming back, are you willing to put guys over to betterment for the company? If not, then there ain't no point in you coming back because those are only like 4 or 5 guys I want you to see when you he don't for
Yeah,
everybody.
I mean, I don't listen from a in-ring standpoint. I need about 3 months of Brock. I need 3 matches.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need Gunther. I need Braun Breaker, and I would like. Really, I only need 2. Those are the
Yeah, I
only
mean,
2
yeah,
that
yeah.
I
Those
need.
are 2. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are
I
only 2. I
mean,
mean, Oba Femi.
WrestleMania, Gunther, and SummerSlam, Braun Breaker. That's
Yeah,
all I need
yeah,
personally.
yeah.
Now, from a human aspect, listen, you could look up the allegations yourself. I, from my understanding here, and everybody interprets it differently, but there's no legal precedent against Brock right now.
Mm-hmm,
There's no charges, and there's nothing going on the way it is with Vince.
mm-hmm,
So, based on those facts, I get the vibe that either he thought it was consensual or like nothing obviously to the level of what Vince and Laurinaitis and them were doing happened
mm-hmm,
here.
mm-hmm,
From my understanding, nothing even happened with Brock in person. Everything was just over the phone.
mm-hmm.
Is it gross? Was it weird? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Brock kind of sick for the things that he said in those text messages that he's into? Everybody's into what they're into, I suppose, but
Yeah.
there was some weird stuff in there.
Yeah.
Again, if you
Yeah.
don't know, you can look it up yourself.
Yeah.
But to
And on
me, what he's
and on top
guilty
of
of
that,
is
she
being
didn't
a
say it. Not.
weirdo.
Yeah, and on top of that, she didn't say a name. Not defending his actions. We knew.
Yeah.
She had to say a name to know she pretty much spelled his name out in a former UFC champion.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like she pretty much spelled it out. So yeah, I think a big people say is like, he wasn't named in the sickos who's sick and all of a sudden want Brock back in there, not disregarding the allegations and saying, well, he wasn't named and we miss Brock and woo. But like you said, only one if as far as business wise, he ready to put people over, then bring him back. If he's not willing to
That's
put
my
people,
thing.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be. And if you don't like it, you don't have to watch. You don't have to. You can't. 50% of the people that are online saying that they would hate Brock back, the second they hear his intro would be excited.
Yeah,
the
100%.
second they hear like the like the second that starts playing, they would be excited.
Yeah.
And that's like my thing. The majority of the people would be excited. What's he guilty of? Probably being a weird sicko in terms of what he's into. But I don't think he's guilty of anything close to what Vince McMahon is. This is not on the same playing field. But again, like you said, what would I be interested in? A Rumble appearance. Maybe Bronson Reed eliminates him in the Rumble. And that's something cool. Maybe at Elimination Chamber, if it's in Australia again. I don't know where it is. I think it might be in Canada.
It's in Canada.
Canada again. No.
I don't think they announced where Elimination Chamber
Is it in? I don't know if they announced it.
No, I don't think they announced it. I know Survivor Series is in Vancouver, but I don't think they announced the Survivor Series.
Elimination.
I mean, Elimination, yes. I don't think they did it yet.
Apparently, it's in the UK.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it is. It is.
Not confirmed any spot, but if they wanted to do a Bronson Reed Brock Lesnar match on the road to WrestleMania, fine. Lesnar would probably have to win that match though, because we are getting. If Lesnar were to return at Rumble onto Road to Mania, give me Gunther, give me Lesnar, World Heavyweight Title, 10-minute match. And the thing with Gunther is he could work slow and it'd still be a good match. So he's kind of the perfect opponent for Lesnar because size-wise, I could believe that Gunther could beat up Lesnar, but match pacing, it doesn't need to be F5 powerbomb. Like Gunther could put him in sleeper holds. Brock can do the Kimura. They could do suplexes. They can trade body shots, and and then at SummerSlam, just give me a squash. I want it to pay it forward. SummerSlam, what you did to John Cena, have Braun Breaker do that to you, and see you later.
Perfect. See you later. Get him out of there.
Table on the farm, and that's just my thing there. But I do want to see a Brock retirement run.
I do, and
I don't need it, but it'd be nice.
Yeah, and I think though, and to be honest with you, those are the two people that you name are the two people that I would want to see him in. Like I said, or Bronson Reed. Those are the big guys,
or Obafemi, like you said. But I just don't think the timeline's gonna add up there.
I mean, he could go against Cody again. He can go against Roman again. I mean, nobody want to see it, but I mean, other people wouldn't want to see it. But I'm just saying, I'm just saying, you said retirement run.
I'd rather him stay home than those matches. To be honest, I just don't need to see. My thing is, if it is
staying home is crazy.
Because at WrestleMania, your night 1 main event is Cody versus Randy. Your night 2 main event is Rock and Roman. That's my current thought. So Gunther isn't in the main event. We're going to get Seth and Punk in a match. So who's going to challenge Gunther? I think Brock fits into that role pretty nicely, and Gunther goes over.
Because now with Ilya being injured, you're not going to do Ilya versus Gunther.
I mean, listen, if we want to get Cena Gunther, I'm not opposed, and Cena wins 17 at Mania. I'm not opposed, but
I think the idea, if you what you just laid out right there, then it has to be Brock and Gunther, because if we do, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, not have to be, but I'm saying
listen, if they want to do Brock and Bronson at WrestleMania and give Bronson a huge win, so be it. But in turn, I don't think either of us are fully opposed to a Brock return. It's not like we're sitting up here pounding the table either, as the people that are saying we need it.
No, bro, I'm good.
We'd enjoy it, and I think that's probably where the majority of fans lie.
He can stay home. He could be home. You know what I mean? Like I'm good. I'm good whether he there or not.
Speaking of things that people might not enjoy, Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
We kind of touched on this at Bad Blood, but it sat with me, and I don't want to say that I'm mad about it, because mad isn't right, but extremely disinterested in these Crown Jewel makeshift championships that they've come up with. They have no interest for me. And I would say me and you are pretty avid fans. I think to have the motivation to start a podcast and keep it up for months on end, you have to be interested in what you're talking about at a pretty high level. This might be a skip for me, man. And it's just crazy to say. I think just because of this pod, I'll watch it and to talk about it, and if anything happens. But this is just, honestly, if we didn't have the pod, I'd probably skip it and just read the results on Twitter, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I agree.
There is just no stakes in this, and it is just a house show on TV.
Yeah.
And that's all it is.
Yep.
And it's shitty, because Gunther Cody should feel massive.
Yeah.
And should have a proper build and should have something really going for it. And I'm not going to lie to you, I kind of hope we get a shitty DQ finish to the match, because I want the first time those two have a clean finish to mean something, it to be a real feud, and it to be, maybe next year for a world title, depending on what brand these guys are on. But for this over glorified, ugly looking belt that means nothing to nobody, that you talk about Brock Lesnar before, when he threw the title at Vince in Gorilla. I mean, this one, you could throw the title at Triple H in Gorilla, you could throw it in the garbage, whatever you want to do with it, it just doesn't matter.
And I was watching a podcast, JD from NY, his podcast, he was talking about it, and he was talking to the guy, his co-host, and it resonated with me, because that's how I felt. It's like Triple H don't really want to do this, but they making him do it. It's
Yeah.
like a throwaway show. It's like here. You know what I'm
This
saying?
is the definition of money talks.
Yeah, money talks. And like I said, it's like I don't think that's something that if it was Triple H, he wouldn't do it. And it's gonna suck because the television ain't gonna be great. Not mean it's not gonna be great, but it's saying like, you know what I'm saying, they got better stuff. People will say Triple H got better stuff to book for, but he can't because he had to do the show. Like we got Survivor Series coming up. He can't really book Survivor Series because he had to book.
It feels like he's booking Survivor Series.
Yeah.
And then just like I wouldn't be shocked if he's handing all this Crown Jewel stuff off to Michael Hayes or something. Like, hey, I don't even care, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you just book these segments. I'm gonna focus on this bloodline stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And
I'm gonna take the month off.
Yeah, and it's like, and that's what it feels like because you know what I'm saying. Of course, we don't got Survivor Series, so this is pretty much Saudi's Survivor Series, where you interpromotional champions, there's nothing on the line.
Like they did something good with King of the Ring.
Yeah,
and you know what I'd rather. I'd rather they turn Crown Jewel into like bragging rights, like what Survivor Series used to be with SmackDown versus Raw. I mean, just make it that.
Look, that's what they're doing with the. I mean, but we know.
I know, but I would rather them just do the tag matches.
Yeah, put all the matches that don't be on this. You know,
like I would rather just see. But I guess, like, in terms of building on TV, it just makes no logical sense, and that's why Triple H refuses to do it. Because, like, why would Cody, Roman, Randy, Kevin, and whoever you want to say is the next LA Knight team up against Jay? Like, I
mean, Vince was doing that though. Vince was putting heels and baby.
Yeah, but that's because it just don't make. But that's because it doesn't make sense. But Vince didn't care that it didn't make sense. But Triple H cares that it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Crown Jewel is just hot garbage.
Well, yeah, depends. I mean, depending on how it, like if they give me LA Knight, Andrade, and Carmelo, I'm watching. Like if they in between those two hot garbage, not because like you said, Gunther and Cody's supposed to be a banger. You know what I'm saying?
It'll be a banger in the ring.
Yeah. But other than that,
once they get to the ring, it'll be a good match. My biggest fear of all of Crown Jewel is that Bill Goldberg comes out, costs Gunther, and instead of Gunther CM Punk at Survivor Series, we're getting Goldberg Gunther.
And I'm skipping that match. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. About watching that match. You gonna ask me about that match on the podcast? I'm like,
I guess that Crown Jewel is maybe Seth Bronson Reed.
Yeah, I think you get Seth Bronson Reed. You get the triple threat for the United States Championship. You get those two matches. That's 5. No, that's 4. We got one more. A tag team. You know, women's tag team match.
Could you probably like Rhea versus Raquel or something?
Oh yeah, throw that in there. And then
I don't know though.
That's not even a B level. That's not even a B level pay per view. This is a C level. I don't think anybody gonna watch this unless you're a die hard.
It is a house show. Yeah, like this is what I was like. This is trash.
1
and
p.m.
like I said, I hope it's just one of those things that what happens in Saudi stays in Saudi.
Well, that's just gonna be because the belt ain't gonna be talked about for another. So say Cody.
I know, but I'm saying I hope it's not Bill Goldberg. Like I like, and then now that plays in the Survivor Series.
Yeah,
like. If you do something where Kevin costs Cody and then their match at Survivor Series, cool. Like we were already on that pace anyways.
Yeah.
But don't give me something new out of this. Don't give me Goldberg. I guess that's really all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Do you think that if they were going to bring Brock back, Saudi's like a place to do it to get the reaction that they want?
Well, I'm going to say, Saudi loves people like that, like the Brocks, the Goldbergs, you know what I'm saying? They love that. So yeah, that would get those fans excited because they love.
I wonder if they do like a Randy Orton match because they love Randy.
No, the people in Saudi are stuck in the early 2000s, man.
That's what I mean. I wonder if they do like Randy Kevin there or something.
I think so because I think that's something that they can lead into if they don't want to do the Cody stuff because
Kevin's probably already going to be there anyways to cost Cody.
Yeah, so I think they did because I seen some earlier that Randy talking about when he comes back in the States, he's going to whip Kevin's ass. So I think they're going to run through that until, which will be perfect to give them, like I said, to give them that match, give Saudi what they want, and let's go back home. Give them what they want and go back home, please. And let's build a Survivor Series, man. We got shit to work on, man. That's probably what Triple H is thinking at the back and say, like, all right, let's get this shit over with. Let's do this. We got shit to work on, man. We got shit to, like, Survivor
Series
is
even
coming
is
up.
this freaking show? How many weeks?
3 weeks.
Is this?
It's 3. We got 3 weeks, bro. We got 3 weeks, bro.
I don't like.
Weeks,
let me know in the comment section. Am I just being like kind of an asshole about this, or like, am I correct that like this show is just absolutely nothing? I also kind of wonder, like, if you're like one of the people in Saudi that's running this shit and like paying the money, are you even happy with this? Like, King of the Ring, if like I'm a like, I don't know how hardcore fans they are, but like if I'm like a hardcore fan and I'm in Saudi and like I want to get my money's worth, King of the Ring, I'm like, that's awesome. Like, if I'm a hardcore fan, but I'm like the money person in Saudi, like, I know that this is bullshit.
Well, here's the thing about it, though. Here's the thing about that. Now, recently, they have been getting better as far as like what I've been seeing is more like, I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm just saying, the earlier Saudi shows, you've seen a lot of people look disinterested. Now, I guess now the more that WWE is giving that type of product, you actually see more actual fans there.
That I remember when it was first happening.
Yeah, you didn't see a lot of
this royal family was in the front, and they were just there, and like the people behind them were way more excited. Whoever bought tickets.
So now I'm looking at now, and that's my point I'm trying to make. I'm glad you said the way you said it, because I'm not good with words. So I'm glad you said the way you said it, because that's how it was when Vince was there, and now I guess they move places, or it's not really in that.
Maybe they give him like a box seat or something.
Yeah, they get now it's high. So now you actually got Don. So like I said, they stuck in the early 2000s. So if you give them Cody, you give them Randy, you give them, let's say, you give them Goldberg. I think they would. I think they would love it. I think they would love it. No, I'm just saying.
That's my problem. That's why I'm so worried that that's going to happen. Because when Goldberg beat the Fiend, they loved it.
Yeah, there was.
And it was just like, this is nonsense. But
the Fiend's still there. They left the Fiend there. His corpse is still there after he got buried. It was crazy, man. Buried.
Yeah, we're at the point in this podcast where we're talking Goldberg Fiend, so I've had enough. We will catch you guys next week for another episode of Yappin' Wrestling.
Yes,
leave all your thoughts in the comment section.